and welcome to the Sky Talk by Aviation, where aviation knowledge takes the flight. Today, me, Simran Manocha, your host with this show, which is specially created for the student pilots and aviation aspirants who want to understand flying concept just beyond memorizing it. So today, we have really experienced air navigation instructor with us, Group Captain Vineet sir. So sir, to start today, could you please let us know about your journey and your experience with air navigation?
I am Group Captain Vineet sir. I have over 30 years of cockpit experience, having flown in the aircrafts. I have aircrafts of N-32, IL-76 and mid-air refueler aircraft. I have been associated with teaching Air Force officers since '94, and after leaving Air Force, taking voluntary retirement from Air Force in 2018, I have been teaching cadets here at Aviation.
Thank you so much for joining us today, sir. So, sir, according to you, what is navigation and how do you think it is important?
Navigation is a process of taking an aircraft from place A to place B safely and efficiently. Safety of an aircraft is paramount, and hence the safety of the passengers. And this process of taking an aircraft from place A to place B has to be as per all laid down prescribed rules and regulations. So navigation is very important.
Alright, so what all do we need to study in air navigation?
Air navigation as such encompasses a few subtopics like general navigation, instrumentation, radio navigation, mass and balance, performance and flight planning. All these topics, they encompass together into air navigation. Like in general navigation, a pilot studies or pilot comes to know in which direction he is to fly, how much distance he is to fly. Add to that, performance tells him at what speed he'll fly, how much time will it take, how much fuel he'll burn. Add to that, in instrumentation, you study airspeed indicator, which tells the pilot at what speed he is flying, altimeter, height he is flying, Mach meter, gyros, artificial horizon. All these instruments, they encompass into instrumentation. In radio navigation, a student pilot learns about VOR, ILS, GPS, which are used every time an aircraft gets airborne. In mass and balance, the topic teaches a student pilot to calculate the amount of weight that aircraft can lift off with. So all these topics are important.
Very informative, sir. So, sir, can you tell us that why is it considered a core subject in aviation?
Now, navigation is like efficient planning and safe execution. For any event that we plan in our day-to-day life, we plan and we execute according to that plan. Navigation is this planning and execution part. So it is very, very important.
Alright. So how is air navigation different from road navigation?
Now, you may laugh. I try to explain it with a crude example. Road navigation, when you plan a trip to go from your, let's say, home to a particular place, we generally look at plan a route, feed it into our phones that this is the route we likely to follow. We see how much distance we will go, how much fuel the fuel need to be in the car, and how much time will I take. Same thing happens in the aircraft. A pilot plans what route he'll fly, what altitude he'll fly, what speed he'll fly, how much time he will take, how much fuel he'll consume. All these aspects come up in the air navigation or all these aspects. But the only difference is that in case on road navigation, if you commit a mistake or you take a wrong turn, you have a freedom of stopping their car and asking a passerby for directions, revised directions. Now this facility is not available in here. So you have to be doubly sure that yes, the procedure, the route or the methods that you are following are always correct. The chances of committing an error are very, very less or almost nil. You cannot.
Very true, sir. So, sir, when does a pilot start using air navigation? On ground or in a flight?
A pilot starts using navigation from the very planning stage. The moment he probably sees his name on the flying program or on the flying board, that yes, he's to go from this place to this place, navigation comes into play.
So, sir, can flying be done without navigation?
कार चला सकते बिना पेट्रोल के. You cannot fly without navigation.
So, sir, how do you explain air navigation in very simple words to our HM students and listeners?
I will like to say that each student that comes to us comes with his own abilities and limitations. Each listener has his own IQ, has his own perceptive to a particular topic. Now, as an instructor, it is my duty to come down to his level and explain the concept of navigation. Once the concepts are understood, then navigation is a fair sale, right? Now, one fixed formula does not work for all. So it depends upon the environment in the class at that instant of time, at that moment of time, and it depends upon the student's ability also.
Very true. So, sir, many students feel that air navigation is really tough. So, how do you help them to overcome this fear?
Now, navigation is not tough. It is a wrong concept, which generally students come to us that yes, it is very, very tough. No, navigation requires practice. And please remember, navigation is a topic which students have never learned before. You go from class 7 to class 8 or class 8 to class 9, there is always a background knowledge on which you can fall back and move further. But here is a concept which the students have to learn from scratch. So, and you have to practice this. There is no alternative to practice and hard work. This is how we generally teach our students at HM Aviation, that please put in effort, please work hard, and you will be able to understand. And our emphasis is on understanding the concept. It is very, very important that you understand the concept of navigation. Otherwise, mugging will not help. In this field, mugging will never help.
So, what teaching methods do you use to make the concept clear in the class for the students?
Teaching methods are nothing new. They are the same which probably are followed in the school, which were followed in the colleges. You basically pitch a topic at the level at which that particular student, those children at the moment in the class are, they can understand, right? How do you pitch them? You give a theoretical explanation, you put forth your question and answers, clarify their doubts. I use models and videos also to explain, and your interaction with the kids. It helps me to put forth or to clarify their doubts and make them understand the concepts of navigation.
Okay, so how do you balance theory and practical example during the lectures?
Now, it is very important to balance between the two. Some topics require a lesser theoretical explanation and fewer practical examples. Some topics need extensive theoretical explanation and practical numericals, practical questions in a fairly large number. It depends upon topic to topic. It also depends on the ability of the student or the grasping power of the student, how much he has been able to grasp and understand, right? So there is no, you can say, you cannot quantify it here. I will only explain this much, I will only put forth these many numericals. It depends upon the environment in the class at that moment.
And how at HM Aviation do you encourage interactive and student-friendly teaching?
Gone are the days when we used to say, spare the rod and spoil the child. COVID has further evolved the teaching methods, right? There has been drastic amount of changes in the teaching method. But yes, here at HM, we use a very friendly environment, interaction is encouraged, putting forth your perspective as a student and listening to his perspective is also encouraged. We explain him the theoretical concepts, we explain him, we give him enough practical numericals, we clarify their doubts, we understand, we give them practice questions as homework also. So all these concepts help these students to understand the concepts of nuances of the topic and the concept of clarify their concepts. That is how I personally feel that yes, at HM Aviation we should and we have been following this.
That's quite impressive. So, what made you identify that the student is struggling for a particular concept or he is struggling to understand a concept in a class?
Well, there are enough indicators. As an instructor, you can easily make out whether a student or a child is struggling with a particular concept or he is not able to understand. The way he answers your questions, the way he clarifies the numericals or answers the numericals, you can easily make out that how much he's understood.
That might be challenging for you.
No, that's not much challenging for me. Please remember, I've been teaching kids since '94, so my experience is more than their age. You can easily make out.
All right. So, sir, how do you ensure that every student in the class understands the topic?
Now, as repeated again and again, it is basically your practice. There is no shortcut to practice. A child once has understood the concept in the class, has understood the nuances of the air navigation topic as such, we give him enough number of study material, we give him enough number of practice questions so which he can practice and understand the entire gambit of navigation. This is how generally we follow.
So, sir, would you like to share any memorable moment from your early teaching days at HM?
Now, each child that comes to us at HM comes with his own ideas about flying, his own outlook, his own fixed thoughts that this is how my career would look like. Yes, all these children, they have, you can say, they leave a lasting impression. To recount or recall one particular moment would be unfair to rest of the children. So let's leave it till there.
All right. So, sir, how do you revise important topics in the class for better understanding of our students?
Not all topics are important. We cannot say that particular topic can be missed out as normal kids have been doing so during their school days. Here at HM, we aim to provide enough study material and enough practice questions before the exams so that the kids, they pass the DGCA exam with flying colors.
All right, so the material is provided.
Enough material is provided.
Right. So, how do you motivate your students who lose their confidence?
This concept of losing confidence, we do not believe here in HM. It is, let me put it, you can say it is better stress management. All children have experienced this just before exams. They do say, "Mummy, main ye bhul gaya, mummy ye yaad nahi aaya." They do say. So this happens here also. But our emphasis is on practice, hard work, so that the kids are able to perform or they are able to solve all the questions of the DGCA exam. This is our motto. That please put in hard work, please put in enough practice.
So hard work is the key to success.
Hard work is the key to success. This is a very old saying. There is no shortcut to hard work.
So, sir, how does HM Aviation help students to improve academically?
Here at HM Aviation, we believe to pass air navigation exam, the key to success is hard work and practice. There is no shortcut to hard work. We believe in this concept and we follow this concept. We provide these kids with enough study material, enough mock tests, enough number of practice questions. The mistakes that they commit during these practice tests are clarified in detail in the remedial sessions so that these mistakes are not repeated in the main exams. This is how we've been following it, we've been practicing this, and we can proudly say that yes, our results are excellent.
Perfect, sir. Sir, do you give any shortcut tricks or memory tricks to our students to remember the difficult concepts and formula?
Difficult concepts? No. There are nothing called difficult concepts, right? This is the first thing that we said. Yes, but for remembering certain formulas, I do give them mnemonics like relationship between calibrated airspeed, true airspeed, and Mach number. We use a mnemonic of C, T, and M.
And what is this CTM, sir?
I generally tell them remember CTM as chicken tikka masala. So this is basically, yes, a fun part of it, and it helps the kids to remember it easily. But yes, the concept has to be clear that how to apply this mnemonic. The concept has to be clear. And I can guarantee that once this concept is clear, they will remember this mnemonic throughout their life.
And I hope that this advice stays with our listeners forever.
I hope so.
Alright. So, sir, how do you connect theory with real practical flying experience?
Now, aspects of theory are connected to everyday flying, right? Such as fuel planning. You are calculating how much fuel you need to carry from when you're flying from place A to place B. This is done for everyday sortie, right? Now, filing of a flight plan. Every sortie, every time you take off, you have to file a flight plan. This is what is taught, right? Calculating PET, point of equal time, and point of safe return. They are calculated. Now, all these aspects are covered in theory and they are covered in practical, and they are practiced every day. Now, you may be wondering what are these, right? Join us.
So, sir, how do you revise important topics before the exam?
All topics are covered, as said before, right? We generally lay emphasis on practice questions, theoretical explanations, and giving the kids, making the kids, you can say, practice, put in effort. There's no two way about it, right? So this is, and to avoid them committing this mistake, we clarify their doubts. The mistakes that are committed in the mock tests are clarified in detail so that they don't repeat it. This is how we generally cover in the remedial classes.
True. So, sir, what do you suggest? How should our students prepare for air navigation exam?
3 Idiots movie देखी है?
Absolutely.
Yes, that's a very good example of how a child should aim to pass an exam. Emphasis is on understanding the concept. A child should, our here emphasis at HM Aviation for air navigation is to please understand the concept. There is no two-way about, or you can say the roundabout way to it. Once you have understood the concept, once you have understood the nuances of navigation, examination is just a fair say, right? This is achieved by practice and hard work, right? Yeah. So this is, we generally emphasize with our children, with our students, that please, for this duration of studying air navigation, do not attempt any shortcuts, do not adhere to what the general information flows around in the environment. Please do not follow that, right? It is very easy for these children to wander away, right? So they are raw minds. You have to mold them according to the environment, according to the career that they have chosen, right? These basic techniques have to be drilled into their mind.
So the primary focus is concept building.
Concept building and correct attitude.
Right. So how can students improve their speed in the exam of air navigation?
Practice. There's no two way about. Sorry, I'm again repeating it, but practice.
And how important is general navigation for DGCA exam?
Air navigation, I said, covers 3 topics basically: general navigation, instrumentation, radio navigation, yes, mass and balance and performance. All these aspects are covered equally in the DGCA exam. So you cannot say that only one particular topic is important, the rest are not important. No. All the DGCA examinations, they cover the entire syllabus in their exams, so you cannot afford to leave a particular topic.
Alright. And what is that common mistakes which students make generally in air navigation?
Common mistakes कुछ नहीं होता. each in a class, as during our school days, each child committed a different mistake. Same thing happens here. There is nothing called common mistake. Each child has its own perspective. Each child has its own learning capacity. So the mistakes are not common. We make an effort so that they don't commit a mistake, right? So our emphasis is on that please avoid mistakes.
All right. So, sir, over the last 7 to 8 years of your career at HM Aviation, we have seen that students have also performed exceptionally well. So, could you please share your teaching strategies and methods for our listeners?
You asking for a secret. Okay. Now, there is no strategies as such or special methods. To put it plainly, mnemonic KTS, keep it simple.
Okay.
Right? My aim when I'm delivering a lecture here is to come down to the level of the child so that he basically grasps the entire gambit. Right? Now, once he's understood that, then he can solve any numerical. Right? So this is what we've been following here. Right? There's no fixed formulas, no special techniques, nothing. It is just simple, coming down to the level of a child and explaining it.
So thank you so much for sharing your top secret with us. So which method is most important for DGCA exams?
Methods, as earlier stated, practice questions, mock tests, revision classes, clarification of doubts. All these procedures that we follow, practices that we follow, are basically helping us to achieve the desired results.
So, sir, our listeners and many students are curious to understand the DGCA navigation exam pattern, specifically whether it is MCQ or includes one word answer or brief answer. So, could you please clarify their doubt?
Now, DGCA exam is a MCQ based exam, but to answer a proper or a correct answer, you need to solve, right? So yes, the examination pattern as such is MCQ based, where 70% of your questions are theory based, 30% of your questions are numerical based. This is a general overall pattern of the DGCA exam.
And how many questions are there in DGCA navigation exam?
There are 100 questions.
In total.
Total of 100 questions.
And how much weightage does each question carry for DGCA navigation exam?
There are 100 questions, 100 marks with a pass percentage of 70%.
70%, alright. And what is the total duration of this DGCA navigation exam?
Each child is allotted 3 hours to attempt the paper.
So, sir, tell us honestly that how does HM Aviation support instructors in teaching effectively to our students?
Now, HM Aviation has a very supportive staff, a flexible schedule catering to the requirements of the students and the instructor, a smart classroom which assists the instructor to deliver or impart the knowledge to the kids effectively. This is what I have personally observed.
So, sir, for our listeners, could you please elaborate the classroom environment at HM Aviation?
The classroom environment is very open, very friendly. We do not want to create stress in the class, right? Now each child is allowed, or rather each child is permitted to speak his mind. It's a very important thing, right?
Correct.
So you need, as an instructor, you need to listen to his perspective also, right? So a classroom environment, each child is, you can say, is encouraged to put forth his opinion, his views on a particular topic. And this basically shows that yes, there is no stress from our side on a child. But till the time you have such an environment, then only understanding the concepts become very easy.
So every POV matters.
Yes, it matters. However simple, or you may say however stupid it might be. Sorry, I'm using about this thing, but however it might be, you hear to the child's opinion.
And what final advice would you like to give to our students who wish to join HM Aviation?
Our advice at HM Aviation to all the children who come to us is that since you have dreamt of becoming a pilot, please be ready to put in efforts to fulfill your dream. You will not find us as an organization lacking in any aspect. The only thing that you need to do is to come to us with an open mind, ready to accept, ready to grasp whatever knowledge is imparted here. And as we can proudly say, our results speak for themselves. Our actions are louder than words. We aim to give wings to your dream.
So every dream of flying takes flight here at HM Aviation.
Yes, this is what we aim at.
Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your meaningful experience and insights with us, sir.
Thank you.
To all our listeners, thank you so much for turning in. Stay motivated, stay focused, and keep aiming high. We will be back really soon with another episode of Sky Talk with HM Aviation.